This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Our pop culture landscape has, over time, grown deeply distorted. Now, I'm not saying that the content of the music we listen to is toxic. It seems to me that the problem is rooted in the very mindsets and lifestyles of the musicians we listen to and idolize. These unhealthy habits and constant controversy produce disastrous results, as seen in the public breakdowns of hip-hop pioneer Kanye West and the many documented cases of musicians abusing their status for sexual favors. In this vast ocean of controversy and gossip, there remains but a short list of musicians who choose to keep their personal business private, and Frank Ocean leads the pack. Frank has become one of the most beloved artists of the 21st century, and in this video, we're going to take a closer look at his career and the philosophy that powers it, a firm dedication to the separation of personal and public personas. Let's get into it. It's the same way you showed me. Frank Ocean was raised in New Orleans, where he was inspired by the city's vibrant jazz culture from a young age. Frank moved into his dorm at the University of New Orleans just a few days before Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005. His newly built, hard-earned home recording studio was destroyed in the floods. He decided to leave his education and family behind and headed to LA with $1,000 in his pocket, intending to stay for 6 weeks while finishing up some recordings he had planned. While he was there, he made contact with a number of people in the music industry and was able to land a permanent job as a songwriter. Frank wrote songs for Justin Bieber, Beyonce, and John Legend. He made a good living this way for several years in the late 2000s, and his own musical career began in 2010 when he met Tyler, the Creator, and joined the now infamous hip-hop collective Odd Future. Frank Ocean has put out 4 full-length projects to date, and he's only become more reclusive and enigmatic with each passing release. His debut mixtape, Nostalgia Ultra, came out in 2011 and was met with immediate acclaim. The tape sampled songs from Coldplay, MGMT, and even Radiohead, some of Frank's favorite bands from young adulthood. Nostalgia was praised for its lyricism that focused on personal reflection, social commentary, and Frank's past relationships. Channel Orange, Frank's first studio album, came out the following year. It was a more refined effort than Nostalgia Ultra, produced mostly by Frank himself, with assistance from Pharrell Williams and Omos Keith. The record blends a number of styles together to create a fresh take on R&B, drawing from funk, jazz, and psychedelic styles. The lyrics are complex and intimate, discussing Frank's personal experiences with romance, drugs, and modern decadence. Channel Orange won a Grammy Award for the Best Urban Contemporary Album of 2012, proving that Frank's unconventional style and creative process wasn't lost in the court of public opinion. It was around this time that Frank decided to take his already bare-bones public persona even further off the grid. In 2011 and 2012, Frank took around 15 interviews. Most of them were casual affairs, touching on little more than his musical influences and newfound success. He only got personal with the press a few times, most notably in his late 2012 long-form GQ interview, which is coincidentally one of the last times he would interact with the press for years. In the interview, Frank discussed his tumultuous childhood and ambiguous sexuality, 2 aspects of himself that, while fascinating to fans, have nothing to do with the music. When the GQ reporter asked if he were bisexual, Frank's answer bordered on aggressive. He vehemently defended his right to privacy as an artist, claiming that his only job is to communicate his experiences through music, and nothing more. Frank deleted his Twitter account a few months later. It was a controversial move, for sure. Twitter can be the primary method for an artist and public figure to communicate with the outside world in between projects. But it's also a distraction. Frank provided nothing in the way of an explanation, save for a single word in response to a fan questioning his decision on Tumblr: intuition. It would be more than 3 years before Frank Ocean dropped his next album, Blonde, and the wait for it was torturously long. Artists today tour endlessly, drop singles, tease fans online, and stir up drama to build hype. Frank did none of that, but the album found itself caught up in controversy anyway, being plagued by demanding fans and rumors for years. When Blonde was confirmed to exist in July of 2016, after years of speculation and rumors, there were yet more delays, and it didn't come out until late August. Blonde was immediately praised as a masterpiece. It received rave reviews and was unanimously considered one of the best albums to come out that year. But Frank once again disappeared after releasing it, choosing not to tour the album or take interviews. He even neglected to submit it for consideration at the Grammys, telling the New York Times in his only interview of that year that he felt the award system was dated. The long and frustrating wait for Frank's next project is now underway. He dropped a number of singles throughout 2017 and early 2018, most of them unrelated to each other or any sort of future release. He hinted on Tumblr late last year that his next project was complete, but no news has come out since. He also appeared uncredited on Travis Scott's Astroworld, singing on the second track, Carousel. Frank has proven himself to be one of the most gifted artists of our generation. He continues to produce thoughtful, introspective masterpieces that have quickly become considered some of the best ever made. And so even if it takes another 2 years for him to resurface, I won't mind. The central point of Frank's creative spirit tells us exactly that. He lives his life and we live our lives. When he's come to a point where there's something more to say, he says it, and we listen. And what else can we really ask for? While we wait for Frank's next album, I recommend picking up a few new skills on Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with over 20,000 classes in graphic design, music production, songwriting, and more. Premium membership gives you unlimited access to high-quality classes on useful, engaging topics. It's honestly a great way to improve your skills and unlock new opportunities. I personally recommend Hardy Fowler's Photoshop Fundamentals class. It's the perfect class to get you started on making designs much like the ones I use in my own videos. Join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for my viewers. Get 2 months of Skillshare for free. To sign up, visit the link in the description and get 2 months of unlimited access to over 20,000 classes for free. Act now on this special offer and start learning today.